good? What's good? It's Life 360, and today we're going to be talking about some esoteric, some esoteric spiritual stuff, some esoterical spiritual stuff that's going to be going on in the world, and the current events that's going on in the world, and how to get your spirit correlated with these new shifts and these new times that's going on. So you won't end up under somebody's SUV. So you won't end up 12 feet under. So you won't end up in jail and things of those nature. So you can end up, rising above the currents, creating a horizon so you can be aware of all the humanistic, animalistic natures that's going on Earth in the 1, 2, and 3rd dimension. So you won't end up getting washed up under the current and playing out these characteristics and personifications like the rest of the people, places, and things that's not into astrology, that's lost into the world, that's lost into the sauce, and things of those natures. So this is going to be helping you be able to have that good equilibrium and that good balance between your God and Goddess body, your light body, and your physical mother nature body. So this is going to be helping you understand how both of these two realms are in synchronicities, and how both of these things work together to create one thing in existence, which is us becoming human. So understanding your higher natures, understanding your natures that correlates more with stars and more with the planets and things of those natures, understanding those chakras, this can kind of help you understand how those natures are the same as your lower natures, and how the higher natures condense and become your actual lower natures. So this is going to be tied into understanding how to actually, redirect, and how to actually get a grip on your higher natures. This can be able to help you bring down the right circumstances and situations into your life, so you can start to be a little bit more prosperous, and that you can start to see things grow and blossom when it comes to you having the ability to actually will and manifest things into reality from understanding your higher natures, understanding your mind, your mentalities, and your God and Goddess's body, and not just getting lost into the 1, 2, and 3rd dimension, not just getting lost into the physical, and not just getting lost into things that's external. You actually being able to utilize your internal to direct your external decision making, and then the things that correlates more with your internal space, you will be able to put yourself in a space where you're more around like-minded individuals, people, places, and things that fulfill those spaces when it comes to the things that y'all share via thought forms, mentalities, feelings, emotions, and things of those natures. And then with that healthy esoteric spiritual space, that healthy esoteric spiritual geographical location that y'all creating amongst each other as teamwork makes the dream work, y'all created a beautiful field, y'all created a beautiful garden. So once y'all go and pluck the fruit from the trees that grow inside that garden, from the plants that grow inside that garden, y'all got good healthy fruits, y'all got good juicy fruits and things of those natures. And in the 1, 2, and 3rd dimension, once that been in and condensed and become your adrenaline, your blood, your calm, your organs, all those things, the nature, the sand particles, the grass particles, the trees, the way that the trees is blowing, the way that the wind's blowing, all those things. Once those things condense and you bite that juicy esoteric fruit that you planted in your esoteric garden in the 4th, 5th, and 6th dimension, and the 1, 2, and 3rd dimension, that's just gonna be you coming across as a person with good charismatic gifts. You're gonna be a person with good charisma. You're gonna be a person with good mannerisms and things of those natures. And you're gonna be able to attract a lot of people, male or female. You're going to be able to attract, because you're going to have this attractive vibe to you and things of those natures. So keep that in mind when just understanding how to plant seeds esoterically, because that's all that we're doing. We're planting seeds esoterically. So this gives us the starting point that these are the things that we come from. We come from actual plant. You know what I'm saying? We wouldn't have that idea, we wouldn't have that mentality in the first place if we didn't come or derive from an actual plant and create it through creation, mutation, and evolution to be able to create these organs to experience a more animal type of circumstance and situation for ourselves. So always keep that in mind. And that was one of our first offsprings that we created to actually be able to share this existence. But that's not in the physical way though. In the physical way, also the metaphysical way as well, if you really want to get deep into it. But in the physical way, that's like what was one of our first bodies, the plants, the firmer seeds, the grass. Those was some of the first consciousness that we was emanating from our spiritual state of being before we developed the ability to be able to create and evolve and mutate into something different, into something else that was beautiful. and things of those natures. So keep that in mind as well when it comes from if you are a type of person that gets attracted to things like plants, if you are a type of person that get attracted to things like fields and different geographical locations and structures of nature and things of those natures, because you and your soul tribe, your spiritual root race, well, you and your soul tribe and the spirits that was around you to create that quantum field may have been the same spirits that carved out that shape and form in that specific geographical location, so that the earth terraformer would take that shape and form to look like that. So let's say for instance that you walk into a space, like you go on an adventure or something, you go to you go to this place, you go to like a desert, but it's a real beautiful desert. It's a desert that you can see, like you can see the vast amount of desert. It's a desert that you can see, like it's like real beautiful and it's eye capturing. So the person next to you may be looking at this desert like, man, I don't like this desert, I'm gonna go to a rainforest. I like rainforests more. But you look at this desert and you just resonate with this desert. You just resonating with, like, you just like, this is so beautiful, this is so amazing. How did God create this? How was this created? That may have been a space and geographical location when it was first created and carving out and condensing and becoming aware for the first time to for that atmosphere, creating that lighter atmosphere, that lighter particle to interact with heavier particle, so those things can evolve and mutate and condense and implode and become the actual, land that derived out of waters. You may have been in that spiritual space, taking those spiritual travel shapes and forms to be able to create that whole geographical location that played out like a desert, that you just went back into a space that you was once residing in, and and resonated with the energy signatures vibrations, because those are energy signature vibrations that's connected and attached to you. Now that you're experiencing a new level of awareness, a new level of consciousness, being able to walk and experience your creation, being a creator. So it gets that deep. It really gets that deep. And this also goes down to objects and things that get derived out of the materials and the salts and the cell salts and the minerals that you may have created from being a spiritual being and things of those natures. So it really gets that deep. So you can't be letting these individuals take your power away from you in some way, shape, or form, because you got to keep in mind that we created all of this as teamwork makes the dream work, and we have the ability to create something else, something better, something new for ourselves. But that's a different video, that's a different topic. But we can jump right into these videos because we got the moon in Sagittarius. So with the moon in Sagittarius, we're all going to be feeling this sense of wanting to connect and react and respond to things that deals more with spirituality, things that deals more with morality. So we're really going to be kind of analyzing and being a little bit more self-aware of the morality behind things, of the morality behind what we're actually seeing that's taking place in front of us, of the morality behind what are people actually saying, of the morality behind why are people expressing themselves in this way, shape, and form. We're going to be looking more into the details of the morality of these things, and that's what's going to be making us feel comfortable, and that's what's going to be putting us either in fight or flight mode. So when it comes to us being able to gain that comfortability and wanting to feel emotionally comfortable and being able to react and respond to the vibrations of the external world, if these things are presenting themselves as being in negative vibrations, when it comes to individuals that have a negative morality, a negative belief system, a negative spiritual system, and we may feel emotionally uneasy around these people, and we may even feel trapped or caged around these people. Like, dang, I can't even express myself to the fullest potential around you, because you may be the type of person that may just look down on me and my spiritual beliefs and my ability to have free will and my ability to think freely about myself and my decisions makings and things of those natures, because you may be around a heavy religious person that may be talking in your ear, trying to cast stones on you, trying to cast you down, trying to make you like a bad person because you don't believe in the same things that they believe into, and the same things that they may believe into may not even be the right things to believe into. At the end of the day, you better believe it. So you always got to keep that in mind, just being around these individuals that be lost into their own spirituality, they be lost into indoctrinations and denominations and being demons at the end of the day, because that's all that they are, just demons at the end of the day. So you got to keep that in mind when just participating with the world, just participating with other individuals, and you trying to gain this sense of spirituality and familiarity with yourself, so you can be able to expand and learn and expand and contract on the right things that's suitable and that fulfills your spirit and your spiritual space and things of those natures. So you better believe with the moon being in Sagittarius, it's going to be making us react and respond more to energies that deals with education, spirituality, travel, expanding and contracting, broad philosophical points of views about the world, spirituality, and God, and other things of those natures. So you got to make sure that you're not around reprobate spirits that try to look down on you, that try to cast stones on you, that try to make you feel guilty, that try to judge you because you may believe in the same things that they believe in too. Because we all got those types of individuals who has been indoctrinated in our lives. We all got those grandmothers, we all got those aunties, we all got those sisters and brethren in our lives trying to make us go to church every Sunday to eat the flesh and the cracker of Jesus, practicing some Masonic witchcraft at the end of the day. But you got to just keep in mind what's actually going on in the world, because it's some real shit. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, just understanding these energies and understanding how to correlate your spirit, your as above with your soul below. This can kind of help you go to the starting point where all these things was created, and you will be able to create your own spiritual system that's way harder than these spiritual system, watered down spiritual system that the Masons and the Jews got to come and sheep practicing every Sunday, eating the flesh and blood of Jesus Christ, not knowing that they're practicing a mass witchcraft on the global level, practicing necromancy, trying to summon a dead spirit back into this reality. But yeah, it gets that deep. It gets real deep down here. But you can't get too wrapped up and fall into those same traps and those same concoctions as those individuals spiritually. So you're gonna be the spiritual one that know how to fly above the 1, 2, and 3rd dimension and be able to go into something more prosperous, something more beautiful, and that's you being a vessel for something new to be brought into this world, because you will vessel for all possibilities. You better believe it. But yeah, understanding those energies and understanding that those are the type of experiences that we're going to be feeling when it comes to the moon being in Sagittarius, and those are the type of circumstances and scenarios that we're going to be attracting, because the moon attracts, the moon pulls, the sun pushes. So with the moon pulling, those are going to be the types of energies that we're going to be pulling and manifesting and willing into our lives. So this is going to be putting us in the emotional space and a specific temperament to produce a temperature, how we actually feel. If we want to play resistance energies, if we want to play opposing energies, if we do see the opportunity, can we be the devil's advocate in this circumstance or situation? So those are going to be the type of experiences and the scenarios that this energy is going to be making us kind of react and respond to a little bit more, to see if we actually resonate with these energy states of beings, or do we need to kind of retract and disassociate and detach from these energy states of beings, because these things may not be a part of our spiritual journey and our spiritual travel. And if we do decide to hop back into one of these things, that'll be us accepting a generational curse or handicapping ourselves at the end of the day. And you don't want to handicap yourself because another individual, you know what I'm saying, because what another individual think or feel, and they may be heavily opinionated, and with them being heavily opinionated, they're just going to be by default make them narc. So you got to be careful when interacting with these individuals, because individuals just be narcs trying to cope with something at the end of the day. And they can't wait to pull out a scripture. They don't even know how to read the scripture. They don't even know what the scripture is talking about. They just like to regurgitate. You know what I'm saying? These individuals just like to regurgitate things. So you got to be careful trying to let somebody fill your head or boost your ego. You know, humans like to get their ego boosted. Boost your ego with regurgitation. You know what I'm saying? Nobody don't want to get regurgitated to. Listen to that word. Just say it with me. 1, 2, 3. Regurgitate. Who finna get regurgitated? You know what I'm saying? What kind of word is that, regurgitate? Man, nobody want to get regurgitated. Get out to the birds. You know, we ain't taking those shapes and forms no more. We moving on to better things. We evolving as a spiritual root race. So you better believe that you're gonna be evolving as a spiritual root race, especially if you watch me and other people in the spiritual community. So I always keep that in mind. You finna be evolving. You finna become a beautiful butterfly out of that little small cocoon that you may have been stuck and limited into. But you know, I just can't take all the fishes out the water though. Some people are meant to experience these things. Some people are meant to be indoctrinated. Some people are meant to be lost into these things because that may just be their soul tribe. You know what I'm saying? But if you're a part of my soul tribe, you know, we freeing ourselves. You know what I'm saying? We freeing ourselves. You rising on the west, baby. We rising on the west, baby. We turning L's into W's. You know what I'm saying? We turning L's into W's over here. You know what I'm saying? But that's how things go down. That's how we get down in the spiritual realm. That's how we get down in the spiritual existence as well. So I always keep that in mind. But yeah, you know, we're gonna get back into this topic, because we're gonna be having a lot of crazy things. But this moon being in Sagittarius is gonna be kind of making us a little bit more enlightened on all the current events and all the things that's been going on in the world that's been getting people distracted and that's been getting people lost into, due to spirits kind of lacking information, due to spirits kind of lacking the ability to take self accountability as well. So when it comes to things like relationships and soul ties and spiritual connections, we need to start prioritizing these things a little bit more. We need to start taking these things a little bit more serious. You know what I'm saying? Especially when it comes to, soul ties and spiritual connections and relationships. It's just like the after effect of it, because we're all relating to these ships. We're all related in some way, shape, or form. So relationships is kind of based on the individual. So the better that you got your individuality straight, the better that you got your individuality in check, then you will be able to relate with all types of people from all walks of life. So relationships and hopping in relationships wouldn't be a problem for you. But at the end of the day, you always got to take spiritual accountability, because some of us hop into the wrong relationships. Some of us interact and open up our legs and put our little Peter Pickers inside the wrong people, places, and things, and we end up making mistakes. We end up being naive. You know what I'm saying? So we got to make sure that we aren't, opening up our legs and sticking our little Peter Pecker inside the wrong people, places, and things, because we may just be needing a sense of validation in an unfulfilled space, in the space of, our mind isn't there. Our mind isn't mature. We still may be naive a little bit. Some humans still may be naive a little bit, regardless of their age. Their spiritual age, their physical age ain't got nothing to do with their spiritual age. You can be 44 years old, but you're still a spiritual child. So this is some spiritual junk going on. You know what I'm saying? This is spiritual nature going on. That's going on, taking place in the world, because it don't matter how old you is in the physical, but in the spiritual. Are you going to be the adult spirit at the end of the day and take that spiritual accountability and be able to do that shadow work and that self-evaluation to be able to see where you made mistakes, where you may have fallen short, and be able to utilize your testimony to help other individuals and prevent other individuals from taking those same steps in esoteric public transportation, so they won't end up at that same destination buying the same products from that store, going back home unfulfilled. Now they don't know how to have a good talking point. Now they don't know how to be able to be a good example or be able to give somebody advice, because that may have been them developing some form of ego or narcissism around themselves. So when get into the spiritual energy, when get into the spiritual natures, it's like we got to pull back the layers of human egos, of the ego, the false egos that humans be creating for themselves. Being a real spiritual person, you just gotta pull back the layers with your intellect, with your sword. So you cutting through all the women, cutting through all the demons, cutting through all the vines and things of those natures that's created from these lower animalistic natures, just so you can get to that person, just so you can pierce that person's soft spot. But before you pierce their soft spot, you create a light for them. You create a tunnel for them to be able to see through, so they can walk through that tunnel without having all those demons and women's holding them, trying to grab them back down, trying to make them, justify this feeling, justify this emotion, justify this justify why you did this, justify why you did that. And you're giving them a piece of you, you're giving them a piece of God, you're giving them a piece of what the Masons and Jews, truth. You're giving them a piece of truth, you know what I'm saying? To be able to wipe free and clear that whole field, so they can be the actual representation and be confident when they actually express themselves and be like, I did make this mistake when I was younger. I was naive. I just want to bug. I just want to bug things of those stages, but I don't want y'all doing that. I don't want the spirits that's coming before me walking those same paths, going down those same trains of thoughts and lines of reasonings and following my footsteps, because y'all can be able to learn my mistakes and the mistakes I made in the past, how to be better as a human, how to be better as a spirit. And there's always a better alternative. And just make sure that you're, joining energies with the right like-minded individuals, and everything will be okay at the end of the day. You better believe it. Because we always get grace in some way, shape, or form. But you got to be able to accept these things. You got to be able to have that spiritual acceptance and be able to take that spiritual accountability, so you won't be running away from yourself. Because we can get put in this space where we start to feel like we're running away from ourselves at some point of time. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to go down the trains of thoughts and line of reasons and eons and eons and eons and just running away from yourself, not taking that spiritual accountability, not not feeling like you're capable, not feeling like you're responsible, not being a responsible spirit. You create it in shapes and forms and just leaving it behind. And eventually these things are gonna come and catch up to you one day. You better believe it, because we're always going into like a spiral, like a circle system, where we're leaving shapes and forms and hopping back into shapes and forms. But we gotta be righteous. You know what I'm saying? We gotta take that right hand path sometimes, because it's easy taking that left hand path, separating it, chalking it up, coming up with some spirituality, coming up with some spiritual isolation energy. Why we don't want to take care of that responsibility, but at the end of the day, that same thing, that same shape and form that you created as a mermaid, is gonna be karma as a mermaid. It's gonna come back and bite you in your motherfucking ass. You better believe it. Why you trying to? You might be just be minding your business or something. That same karma gonna come back and bite you in your motherfucking ass if you don't take responsibility for it. So I'm just letting y'all know. I'm just trying to keep y'all head above water. I'm trying to keep y'all up on game and things of those nature, so y'all won't end up falling victim to y'all selves. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of individuals just fall victim to themselves nowadays. You can't fall victim to yourself, because it's coming when it comes to the human comprehension. They fall victim to themselves. You don't want to fall victim to yourself. You want to be the powerful spirit. You want to be looking at these bitches. You want to be looking at your feelings. You want to be looking like, you my bitch. You my bitch. You do what I say. You know, I ain't scared of you, bitch. You come and go. You being willing to me. You suck my dick. You better believe. You better talk to yourself like this. You better talk to yourself like this, because that's how people that created all these terms and these words and this vocabulary and this linguistics and this longitude and all these things, that's in front of you. This how they talk to themselves. At the end of the day, they be talking to themselves and be like, you my bitch. You better suck my dick. You better shake that ass. You better go make that money, bitch. You better believe it, because we all have the ability to be able to create, incarnate back into existence. You know what I'm saying? Birth, life, and death. But just always remember that. Always keep that starting point and always keep that mechanism in mind. And you won't be getting lost. You won't be getting persuaded. You won't be getting misguided when it comes to, life in general. You will have a good spaceship that can kind of help you be able to, hop in and out of these shapes and forms, hop in and out of these currents, hop in and out of these realities. And it's like you just ice skating at this point. You know what I'm saying? You get so good at it, you feel like, creating another mind and another body to experience this level of existence through. It's like ice skating to you at this point. You just for fun. It's like, let's say that you are already good at making music. It's like just making music at this point. You know what I'm saying? It gets that deep. So you always gotta keep that sense of spirituality. You gotta know how things get down. With the get down, you gotta know how to get down with the get down first. But yeah, talking about relationships and things of those natures, we need to start conducting relationships in healthier ways, because don't nobody have an example and everybody just getting lost. Everybody still playing out energies from 2,000 years ago of being, low-hanging fruits and things of those natures. We got to stop that. We got to cut that off. You know what I'm saying? We got to cut those soul ties. We got to cut those soul ties. We got to cut those generational curses, because everybody's still walking like we was back in 2,000 years ago. Like we ain't improving nothing. You know what I'm saying? We still reprobated out. You know what I'm saying? People still fucking out of wedlock. You know what I'm saying? People still ain't coming together. I see that that's the problem with humanity. Humanity is still in their primitive natures. Humanity is still in their lower animalistic natures. They don't know how to connect on a more higher spiritual nature. Humanity is still lost into these desires, lost into these shapes of form, lost into their primitive animalistic natures. And we've been doing this for the longest, since the beginning of time. You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all ain't changed y'all mind yet. Y'all ain't got comprehended up yet. Y'all ain't got smart yet. What the fuck's up? Y'all still being animals? Like, is this gonna have to go on for another 2,000 years? Created new men and women, created new months. Y'all got that lost from y'all spiritual predecessors and y'all spiritual ancestors as communities and soul tribes and things of those natures. So y'all just getting lost into the sauce nowadays. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's really what's going on nowadays. It's like, it's crazy. Like, it's real crazy. And like, it's like the type of awareness and comprehension that humanity is at. Like, y'all don't know how to think no other way. Y'all ain't got no other way to think. Y'all ain't got no other brain system or neuron to connect to. Like, it's real crazy out here. Like, y'all still lost in 2,000 years way of relating and conducting relationships and building, and teamwork makes the dream work. It's crazy. Like, come on, we got to do something now. We got to do something now. Before y'all extinct y'allself now. You know what I'm saying? Before y'all kill y'allselves off now, before y'all genocide yourselves now. You know what I'm saying? You got to do something now. I better start getting on YouTube watching people like me. Better start getting on YouTube, promoting people like me instead of these weak ass celebrities y'all be promoting, y'all be getting influenced by and getting peer pressure by. You better believe it. You better believe it. Y'all better stop letting these celebrities kind of brainwash y'all, program y'all to think in a certain way to conduct society in that way, to think society needs to be conducted like that, to think society has to be, everybody in society has to be depressed. You have to have this form of security, stability, safety, and shelter, and able to hop into a relationship. No, that's not what God all possibilities want us to do. That's like a demon. That's like a contract. It's like a soul contract. You know what I'm saying? Y'all already get back to y'all kingship and queenship. One of these eons. Shit. One of these eons. Shit. I'm just saying. Y'all gotta get back to y'all kingship and queenship. But yeah, just understanding those energies, if you understand where I'm coming from, you understand what I'm saying. But just like where humanity lacks, and this is where humanity falls short when it comes to relationships in general, because y'all still conducting relationships in low-hanging fruit, shadow government type of ways. You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all ain't gonna never be able to connect to the other person, or actually be able to experience without just hopping into a relationship just based upon a desire, based upon the flesh and money and things of those natures, not something that fulfill your spirit. You always want to hop into something that fulfills your spirit, where this flesh and the money can deteriorate, but you still got that spiritual sense that that person is there with you on that spiritual level, and y'all having that spiritual eye to eye type of conversation, type of connection going on, rather that y'all experience things on this 1, 2, and 3rd dimensional level at all. You know what I'm saying? At least y'all have those that make y'all feel secure and safe with each other. No, it's like y'all creating something beautiful. Y'all creating something different. Y'all from a distance see how y'all creating shapes and forms in the essence, blessed with $1 million, $billion, gazillion dollars. You know what I'm saying? But it's genuine. It's not fake and authentic. Like Jay-Z and Beyonce, shadow government pick them and put them two together and make them, create little psyops and agendas and agents and shit. So you better believe, you better peep game what's going on. It's real shit. It's real shit. Because me and my other half would have been rebelled against that shit. And we would have been put people like, shout out to everybody in the subconscious and the conscious community, put people like that on game, put people like that in positions of powers, so we can be in our real kingship and queenship. Them niggas ain't in their kingship or queenship. Them niggas got to follow orders and follow rules and shit. You know what I'm saying? If you got to follow orders and follow rules, you in your priesthood. You're not in your kingship or queenship. Them niggas don't make the rules. Them niggas can't come out there and express themselves this type of way and talk about how they actually feel, about what's actually going on behind closed doors, about the contracts they got to beat, about the niggas they got. You know what I'm saying? You gotta be, because it's all that's going on in this world. That's all that's taking. Gonna talk about Jay-Z ain't gonna talk about. Gotta be careful. You gotta be careful. But that's what's really going on in this world. Spiritual ships and spiritual connections isn't a thing nowadays. Like, they're just relating in that way, shape, and form. You know what I'm saying? We still got spirits, we still got predecessors that want to see us do some of those things. You know what I'm saying? We got our predecessors in the universe that want to see us be in some spiritual relationships, some spiritual health, some spiritual connections, things going on, synchronicities in the universe, things like that. So things can work out, because we got spiritual predecessors that was once upon a time walking and experiencing those things once upon a time. But we get so lost into the physical that we get blinded by, what's going on, how this person look, this person body type, this person shape, this person, how this person look. Does this person like the next sexy red? Does this person look like the next little baby? Does this person look like the next Cardi B? We get so lost into all those distractions and all those delusions that we forget the actual spiritual connection that needs to happen in order for us to be able to co-create and procreate with the universe the right way and evolve out of this lower egg sperm cell that we're lost stuff in, so we can be able to become something else, become something beautiful, become an actual atmosphere. You know what I'm saying? Be able to know how the fashion actual atmospheres and consciousness and sub anywhere. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You being sacred, you being like God. You being like, believe, you better believe, know how to play God real type of way. They got sun, you know what I'm saying? Everything under the sun, you know what I'm saying? They got y'all on to all those types of energies that y'all don't know how to think for y'allselves. Y'all don't know how to come to these conclusions y'allselves. Y'all don't know how to go outside and look at we chapi. You know what I'm saying? Come with your own oral tradition. Come with the Awuju Baba. You know what I'm saying? Go Awuju Baba and Virgo. You know what I'm saying? Have a whole spiritual tribe saying that, speaking that language, speaking that natal tongue. You know what I'm saying? Y'all got y'all listen to much. You got turn everybody into some much. Oh my God, they turn everybody into some much. I don't know how to think. I got too many bastard thoughts. Y'all got too many fathers and mothers on y'all mind. I don't know how to come to y'all. Y'all don't know how to have y'all own original idea. Y'all don't know how to think for y'all selves. Y'all got to go off somebody else's strip. Y'all got to go off somebody else's template because y'all don't know how to think for y'all selves. You know what I'm saying? So y'all just coping. Humans just coping. That's what y'all depressed spirits. Damaged spiritually. Shit. Y'all just damaged spiritually at some point. At some point, just look at a person's face and see how they damaged spiritually. You know what? Hop and creating too many soul ties with individuals that's not on their spiritual wavelength and path because y'all don't have an understanding of spirituality because y'all not prioritizing and making spirituality important. Y'all not going to school to learn spirituality. Y'all going to school to get indoctrinated and y'all got too many people with other ideals on their mind fucking y'all, you know, imploding, coming in y'all and things of those natures. Not, you know what I'm saying, just poor decision making in general. Poor decision making when it comes to humanity. Everybody has poor decision making skills, and it's crazy, it's scary because, you know, a spirit like me want the best for y'all. A spirit like me want to see y'all prosper. A spirit like me want to see y'all become something beautiful at the end of the day, but y'all ain't gonna be able to become something beautiful if y'all keep making these poor decisions, interacting with individuals who don't share that same synergy and purpose as y'all. You know what I'm saying? So y'all gotta be mindful and be careful who y'all sharing energies with, and who y'all bucking, who y'all communicating with, who y'all even looking at. You know what I'm saying? It gets that deep. Who y'all opening up y'all space and y'all vortex to, so that y'all can get into y'all hypergamy, y'all hyperphony. You know what I'm saying? And then if y'all got the wrong individuals in y'all space and y'all vortex who don't, you know, who's not from the same spiritual lineage as you opening up your space to a predator. You open up your space to a parasite. You open up your space to a vampire at the end of the day. So you gotta be careful, you know what I'm saying? You getting your energy drunk. You getting your energy sucked. You getting your energy destroyed. You getting destroyed spiritually. They got y'all in destroyed spiritual states of being. They got all y'all looking at each other like, I'm gonna destroy this person spiritually. I'm gonna destroy this person with my thoughts and my feelings. This person better get down the wheel and bend down to my dick and my pussy. You know what I'm saying? They got y'all destroying each other spiritually because, you know, it's ungenuine. Everything is fake, synthetic. They got y'all living this synthetic ass life, synthetic ass existence that's separate from God and all possibilities. They got y'all making deals with Lucifer and the devil, being y'all own opposers, being y'all own demons, creating y'all own hells for y'all selves. You better believe it. Y'all got to get out of this. Y'all got to get out of this world. Y'all got to get out of these loop systems, these matrix systems, this delusion that y'all don't create it for yourselves as humanity, as humans. For real, before y'all get inverted and become the most retarded. First shall be last, what's last shall be first. I may gotta come back and talk to some different species, you know what I'm saying? Cause y'all humans is kind of, y'all it ain't clicking. It ain't clicking, like something ain't clicking. I might have to come back and touch this and another eon till some more fishes come out the water. Y'all just to kill yourselves. Go back to the atom. Go back to atoms and parasites. These are those things, you know what I'm saying? But you got to be careful, you know. But you got to be careful. But you got to be careful. Just them fucking running around, motherfucking 14 legs or some shit. It gets crazy. Especially if they keep shooting y'all up with these hormone shots and shit. Man, I'm gonna have to come back and talk to some different type of species, you know what I'm saying? That could be able to go outside, be able to put the mathematics together, come up with their own language, and don't get so lost and follow y'all footsteps. You know what I'm saying? That's how I be down here. That's how angels got. You gotta come back and be men and women so we can kind of help y'all out, you know what I'm saying? That's how we get down with it getting down. We just being a vessel for God, all possibilities, you know what I'm saying? But this is what's really going on because they got y'all lost in the mind. They got y'all lost into too many loop systems. Too many loop systems. Y'all too indoctrinated. Y'all too far. I don't want it to get to the point where y'all just gone. Y'all just lost. Y'all just a lost race of species at that point. There ain't gonna be nothing to save y'all. Y'all just gonna have to kill each other off. Shit. Save us the trouble. Just kill each other off at some point. You know what I'm saying? So we can come back and talk to wait till some other species evolve. Wait till all this shit goddamn turn into dust. Goddamn turn into something again. Wait till some other species come and get involved. Go through the same cycle, incarnation that y'all went through. So we can come back and help them. Hopefully they got a little bit better understanding, better comprehension, and then y'all just follow. Cause y'all ain't getting it, it's like y'all lost somewhere, y'all ain't putting the two together, y'all still shit natures and things of those natures, is, you know what I'm saying? But that's how I get down, that's how the spiritual realm is, that's how the spiritual world is. Y'all created too many soul ties for y'all selves. Y'all ain't gonna be able to get out of these soul ties. Y'all ain't gonna be able to get unspiritual ass, damaging ass, demonic ass soul ties anyway. But yeah, y'all gotta understand what's going on. Y'all gotta be careful who y'all interacting with. Y'all gotta be careful who y'all letting into y'all esoteric household. Y'all gotta be careful who y'all letting is coming in and out of your esoteric conscience in their mind, because they're not a part of your spiritual lineage. They're not a part of your soul tribe. So you fucking this individual. You bringing back another Mason. You bringing back another demon. You bringing back another Jesuit. You bringing back somebody. Y'all have a child. This person got different. But yeah, you can tell. You can get back on topic. Get back on point. You can tell this person got different ideas, emotions on their mind that may not even resonate with your spiritual state of being. They may not resonate with you spiritually, because this person may not even be a part of your soul tribe. And you fucking this person, fuck around, have a baby, fuck around, get this individual pregnant. Next thing you know, you bringing down a child, you bringing down a spirit that's gonna be highly resistance against you. You gotta be looking at the spirit like, why the fuck you just won't listen? Why the fuck you so bad? Why you a little demon? You do everything you can. You can whoop this person. You can put this person in timeout all you want. You can do whatever you want. It doesn't matter. It's the space that this individual that you were sharing those energies with, the spaces that they was in. Secretly, they may not have been telling you this, but these individuals may just been using you. You know what I'm saying? For some security, stability, safety, and shelter. But when it comes to sharing the same at these of those natures, they wasn't really resonating with you on that type of level. They may have just been using you for these shadow government type of things. So you convince yourself in your mind that you created delusions that this, but secretly sharing energies with. Y'all just gotta be careful who y'all just communicating and associating with nowadays, especially that person about your purpose. You gotta have a purpose. You gotta let your purpose make the decisions for you. You gotta let your purpose carve out circumstances and situations for you nowadays. Because if you just lost into the sauce, coming and going, lost into the ways of the world, you're gonna end up making a mistake, because people are damaged. People are walking around damaged spiritually because of this. Because they don't know how to have an actual spiritual connection. Because they don't know how to share their space. So, with them individuals being in that space for a long period of time, you better believe that they're gonna come up with some narcissism, self-entitled energy that they're gonna come up with good ways to hide. But if you got a spiritual keen eye, you're gonna be able to pierce through that. You're gonna be able to see through that. But other people may not be able to see through that. So people are just jumping into relationships. Birds of the same feather flock together for the sake of the validation that they may have gotten and the validation that they may have not gotten. And solely based on those types of energies. And not nothing genuine, not nothing true, not nothing to help this other person be able to take that self-accountability. Because at the end of the day, that's all that it's gonna chalk down to. Are you gonna be able to take self-accountability for your actions at the end of the day? And if you're not able to take self-accountability for your actions at the end of the day, then you're still a spiritual child. You don't need to be relating. You don't need to be in relationships. You don't need to be opening up your legs. You don't need to be fucking, you know what I'm saying? Because you're just gonna be hopping into relationships solely on the base of wanting to get a desire fulfilled. And that's demonic. That's making deals with the devil. You don't want to make deals with the devil. You want to always be hopping into a relationship looking for wanting to change, wanting to better yourself, wanting to improve on the qualities that you may lack, and this other person can be the reflection or the example of how you can be able to better yourself due to how this person handled themselves. Because a bum can hop into a relationship with another bum and then they're gonna become successful for being bums. It don't work like that. That's too many men's. That's too many men's fighting. That's not enough. It's not enough hypergamy going on. It's not enough polygamy going on. It's too many men's fighting because y'all both bums. Y'all both got bum mentalities at the end of the day. So at the end of the day, y'all both just gonna keep manifesting circumstances and situations where y'all both continue to be bums. But if a bum hot into a person with in a relationship with somebody who didn't have that mentality but who was thinking sufficiently and wanted to actually help this bum out, and this bum put their ego to the side of wanting to actually go through the process of changing and wanting that help and needing that help and looking at this person like an example, then you can be able, that person without that bum mentality can help that bum get out of that bum mentality and out of that bum space. That's, and you know that this is a person that's making $1 million or got a successful business for themselves. So you got to understand what's going on spiritually first before hopping into a relationship based upon common interests and shared desires. Because shared desires, if your desires aren't correlated right, if you still got alternatives, you may still be in some demonic ass spaces, and you just got to do a little bit more shadow work and self evaluation before you even hop into relationships. But people don't know how to come to these conclusions because people are too lost into things of comfortability. People are too lost into things of familiarity. And you could have brought these things from with you from a previous life, because you may have been getting, you know, validation from that previous life of you being in this demonic manipulative ass space, and you just look for certain shapes and forms to hop into this lifetime. So you chose the parent who was in that same space, creating those same thoughts and feelings, and the mother who opened up her vortex, who opened up that vortex so y'all can be able to create that triune system. So as a spirit, you was already, you know, vibrating on that frequency vibration, and you just needed two parents to come together and emit a shape and form in the fourth, fifth, and sixth dimension, so you can be able to hop into that shape and form and take and condense and become something into reality through that mechanism of, you know, the mind, being able to create yourself within the mind, and the mind condensing, just the mind condensing and becoming something of physical matter formation, being able to come out of your own, being able to create yourself from the inside out, as within, as within, as without, as above, so below. Things of those natures. So it's all about everybody. You can look around. Everybody is in damaged ass spaces spiritually. So it's not safe for no man with their nuts. No spiritual man with their nuts. It's not safe for no spiritual woman with their eggs to be mixing and mingling with the common individual nowadays, just for the sake of needing validation or attention or wanting to be liked. It's not safe out here for none of us spiritual people. We have to be the ones to work on ourselves, improve ourselves, and then come together that way, so we can bring something new and beautiful. We can bring some new intelligent children down here that's smarter than us. We think that we smart. The spaces that we be in, we create a mind and awareness, emanate thoughts and feelings, have sex there, bring some spirits that haven't even experienced this existence yet. That's from other places. Because our mind is so broad, our mind as a collective is so aware. We join energies with another individual from the opposite sex that's in that same spiritual space, opening up that stargate and that portal. For those types of spiritual predecessors, an actual another predecessor can hop back into one of these bitches. Real shit. Like how we got, shout out to Archangel Uriel. Universes want to see the universe and God and goddesses want to see things like this, see teamwork makes a dream like this. Another predecessor can hop into one of those bitches and use one of those bitches that we created, thoughts and feelings, mentalities that we created to experience this level of existence, just to carry out a duty and obligation that God may have gave it. You know what I'm saying? All possibilities may have gave it. Brought some new science, brought some new type of teachings, brought some new ways of expressing itself down here, brought some new art, some new creativity, some new music down here, because that's all that we doing at the end of the day. So we can't let them take that away from us and keep bringing back bastards and bitches and whores and niggers and things of those natures, because that's all that we doing, being low hanging fruit. And they know this. They're aware that humans are playing out these types of characters and characteristics in the 1, 2, and 3rd dimension, because especially if you're not spiritually inclined, and they kind of handicap us a little bit, because they're not teaching things like this in school, because they're not letting people like this on the internet flourish, because they're not letting people on social media platforms expressing this sentiment flourish on social media. They want to keep things running for them so they can stay in a position of power and rulership for thousands and thousands and thousands of years, and they can practice this behind closed doors, practice this necromancy, spirit trapping, spirit summoning behind closed doors, so their bloodline and their spiritual lineages can keep incarnating back into these shapes and forms, so they can continue to hold up their oral tradition that get passed down to us as watered down esoteric knowledge, that we get blinded into the delusions that they put over over our spiritual glasses. So we need some spiritual Vaseline. So when it comes to people like me, give me all the spiritual Vaseline, and other people in the subconscious community, give me all spiritual Vaseline, so that y'all can see clearly through the bullshit, through the delusions and the distractions that's going on. They desensitize, they kill, they feel intimidated spiritually. They get intimidated by powerful spirits in the spiritual realm, because they want to stay in a position where their little dick energy rules the world at the end of the day, because that's all that's going on. It's humans lost into their narcissism, because they've been getting away with it for so long that they don't got comfortable with it. But as long as people like me and other people keep becoming aware of the bullshit, we're able to point it out. And the better that we're able to point it out, that's them getting blood on their hand. And then they're going to have to clean it, because God don't like dirty. God don't like dirtiness and the pearly gates on his floors, on this gold and silver floors. God don't like that dirty ass shit those spirits were bringing with them. You got to be clean. You got to be pure. You got to purify. You got to go through this spiritual gentrification. You got to go through this purgatory, this purification, this Pluto power and the P type of energy, spiritually, on a mass global scale. So spirits that come after us, that's still taking shapes and forms as bugs, parasites, animals, the trees, the grass, the color of the grass, the sand particles, the direction of the wind, because there's spirits in all of these things. You know what I'm saying? Spirit means multiple. You just got your own piece of spirit, your soul, your solo space, your own piece of that space of all. You know what I'm saying? So it's spirits and all of these things that can be able to evolve, and this becomes something else. Like, you better believe it. It gets that deep. It don't have to look like this. This is all this. What you look around, it's in let nature take its course. The world would have been looking like the heavens. We would have been some other type of creatures by now. It would be a whole different type of speciation going on, whole different type of organ system going on down here. And we still have this possibility, because it's all possibilities, to be able to experience this level of life, this level of awareness. But first, we got to get out of our own lower animalistic natures and get more in tune with our higher natures. And that's the type of fall energy that we're experiencing right now. So we just gotta go through that death. We gotta go through that transition. And once we go through that death, that transition, then we're gonna be able to give birth to that horizon, to that awareness, to that rainbow. And then hopefully we learn from our fall from grace, so we can pick ourselves back up and become something better, become something new, become something unique, become something beautiful again. Because we don't make this bitch, we don't turn this bitch to a whore. We don't been in and out of this bitch. We don't turn this bitch to a whore. You better believe it. So just understanding these energies and understanding that you are the creator, and understanding that we need to put more of an importance on spiritual connections and spiritual ships, and get out of this low-hanging fruit way of relating and relationships, because we're only creating more mutts, we're only creating more reprobates. And look up at our ancestors and spiritual predecessors give us, and start to create a language or linguistics around it, and be able to communicate and come together as a community and start to build on those levels and bring children down here that resonates with those spiritual states of being. That'll be us kind of improving a little bit as humanity, and taking that spiritual accountability and getting out of this lostness, and not accepting generational curses that come with it. But yeah, you're gonna get good, you're gonna get cold at it, and it's gonna be like you're gonna be ice skating, and it's just gonna be like a dream to you. You know what I'm saying? How it was formed in the first place, through dream bodies. But yeah, it's been Hoop Like 360. Hope I enjoyed this video. Peace.